There we go. We have our recording going. We have each other. We have this space, this time. Here we go. And my dog is not here, so that's that's good too. He likes to participate very much in the yoga. So we're learning how to deal with that, both of us. Okay, so this week we are into our legs some and really working our muscles to create a strong, steady container as we are making, as we're also stretching. So think about this. Remember a few weeks ago, there was the earthquake out west in San Diego, and you may have seen this video that went around of the elephants in the San Diego Zoo that they created, instinctively just created a circle with their heads out and their bottoms in. And the circle is there to protect the young and to protect the vulnerable. And I don't know, I feel like I'm having kind of the same experience with some of my friends and family right now of like, yeah, we want to talking about like coming together, wanting to be together in these troubling times, coming closer. And that gives a sense of security and care and decreases our feelings of separation. And so, whatever we find that is useful in the natural world is also going to be useful in our own bodies. So this protective mechanism of circling and hugging in, we find it in the yoga practice in what is sort of one of the second steps. We open and we make space, and then we hug in, and sometimes we'll say hug the muscles to the bone. And what that does on a physical level is it makes your muscles very strong, and it creates heat, and it protects your ligaments and your tendons. Tendons are what connect muscle to bone. It connects those from being overstretched. And you don't want that to happen. Overstretching those feels really bad. I've tried it for you. Don't do it. It's not worth it. So, it's like this is a way to protect your physicality even as you aim for more range of motion or mobility, flexibility, capacity to move. And of course, we're looking for the sweet spot always, because if you hug in too much, it just becomes tight and rigid and it gets stuck. So we can get locked in fear, locked in place. But so we want to be hugging in enough, like a warm, gentle hug, right? Like a Goldilocks principle, just enough, but not too much, where you can still breathe, where the Shakti can still move, because that's what we're always doing. We want to be moving with the Shakti, moving towards more life force, moving towards more connection. When we feel that, when we experience that as a little embrace of ourselves, that's where we, connect with our true nature, which is joy, which is why we're doing this practice week after week, month after month. So we'll work with that strong quality today, even as we lengthen hamstrings and get some stretching going in our legs. You can start with a good seat, sit up well, however works for you, works for me. And then bring your hands down into your lap or rest them on your thighs. And close your eyes, bringing your attention from out there in the world to in here to this inner world. Let your sitting bones get heavier and lengthen down, lengthen down. And as you continue to ground down, lift up through your ribs, through your head, through the crown of your head, and take your shoulder blades back just a bit, shoulder blades to the back of your heart, like again, gentle hug for the back of your heart. And then feel and notice the movement of your breath. And if your breath is getting stuck, just soften around it wherever you can. So you're not forcing the breath to do anything, but also not holding it back. Now make a warm connection between your palms as you join them in front of your heart. And connect with your intention for today. And let's chant Om together. Just one round. Welcome your in-breath. Om. Bow your head to your heart. Bring your hands down, lift your head, and we'll begin together. We're going to start on hands and knees and do our little foot opener where you put the one foot in the other one. So not really on your knees for very much time, but hands and knees just to make that transition. Sure you can see me. You're going to come down to hands and knees and then take your right foot into the middle, the top of your right foot on the floor, and then take the top of your left foot into the sole of your right foot. Now you can stay up like this and just push your left foot down and turn your left foot, or if your knees are okay and your feet can tolerate the weight, shift back and put some weight into this. You can have your hands on blocks for some support if it's helpful to, keep yourself out of all of that weight being down in your knees or your feet. And turn your left foot, just turn it on your right foot. You're using the bone on the top of your left foot to create some opening in the fascia, which is what wraps around muscles in the bottom of your foot. So that fascia can get very tight and it runs up the whole back of your body. Shift forward and switch sides, left foot in, right foot on top, and then shift back as little or a lot. And so that fascia runs the whole back of your body and can be kind of a limiting factor on being able to stretch your ankles or stretch the backs of your legs. So yes, we're working on the hug, but this is sort of like you want the muscles to hug and the fascia to be kind of fluid and able to move. All right, come forward again, come to hands and knees, and then walk your knees back a couple of inches and take your feet out about as wide as your mat. We're coming to down dog. We're going to start with a bent knee, downward facing dog. So welcome a breath in, melt your heart, soften, and then lift your knees, lift your hips, and come up into a bent knee, downward facing dog. With your knees bent, it can be a little easier to charge up the muscles because they're not being pulled on quite so much. So do tone your muscles and squeeze right up under your buttocks, squeeze the backs of your legs. Almost imagine you're going to kick your heels up to your butt, and that'll help turn on the whole back of your leg. So keeping those muscles turned on, slowly reach your heels back towards the back of the room and down towards the floor. They may or may not go all the way there, but keep squeezing your muscles firmly and then press your thigh bones back so we get that protective, supportive, heat-building hug. And the heat is necessary too. That's how we create opening and transformation. Right, one more breath here. And then exhaling, bend your knees again and slowly walk your hands back towards your feet. Bow over your legs. And inhale to come up halfway. Exhale to fold. Take your hands to your hips, your elbows and your shoulders up. Stretch your heart forward and inhale all the way up to standing. Okay. All right, so now we're going to come to your wall. This could be a door frame, this could be a sofa, this could be your radiator. And the aim is that you can get as much of the back of both thighs to the wall as you can. So that may depend, where you're going may kind of, what you can do may depend on that. The other thing is bring your blocks with you as you're heading over there. Sorry, I told you too late, but could be helpful. So you're going to have to take your blocks and your hand and yourself. And then the aim is to get as much of your thigh, the back of your thigh, up against the wall as you can. And right now, my feet are a little bit away from the wall and my buns are to the wall, and that's fine. So actually I'm going to step a little bit away, bend over, and then step my legs back to the wall. Yeah. So see what you can do in a standing forward fold in terms of getting the tops of your thighs back to the wall. And then again, squeeze all around your legs. So 360 degrees around your legs and use that strength to press your thigh bones back. You're in a standing forward bend. It may be that you need to be way up on your blocks. You may have to bend your knees and just challenge your legs strongly and push the tops of your thighs back even with knees bent. That's fine. Now keep your thighs at the wall or your buns at the wall and just walk your hands out a little further away as if you were going to go to downward facing dog. So, this might not look like much for some folks. It might look like a big length in your back body for some folks. It just sort of depends on how your body is right now. Squeeze your leg muscles all around your bones and use that strength to take the tops of your thigh bones back towards the wall. But squeeze just under your buns so that your tendon there, your hamstring tendon, does not get overstretched. Good. Then if your hands are far out, walk them back towards you. Walk your feet a little bit away from the wall and bend your knees and inhale, come back up to standing. All right. Now you can bring yourself back over to your mat. Oh, I was going to have us do something else. We'll do it here. All right. So coming back over to your mat, you can put your blocks up near the top of your mat. So we're just really talking to your hamstrings today, but it helps to have your quads, the front of your thigh also working in all of this, but really talking to the backs of your thighs. So now coming up to the top of your mat, you can place your blocks in front of you, bring your palms to your heart, and pause a moment. Then imagine you were going to kick your heel back towards the back of your mat and even up towards your hamstring. And notice if you can't get that to help turn on your hamstring muscle. Hamstrings in the back of your thigh. Keep that, bend your knees a little bit. Take the tops of your thighs back and bow forward and bring your hands onto your blocks. So knees bent, hands on blocks, make your spine long. Imagine you're going to wipe your feet on a mat. So as if you're wiping your right foot back, pull it back, turn on your right hamstring. And then as if you're pulling your left foot back, turn that hamstring on. So notice how, again, your leg muscles, back the legs get turned on and squeezed. And either stay right here with your knees bent if you're already getting some hamstring stretch, or straighten both legs without your muscles then just turning to jello. We want to keep the muscles activated. Look at your knees, see if your knees have pointed in towards each other, and spin them just enough so they point towards your blocks. Do it one more time. Bend your knees, squeeze your leg muscles, and then straighten your legs. And then if you have more range in your hamstrings, you can bow forward. But again, we're not bowing with a relaxed muscle. We're actually bowing with a engaged muscle so that you can build some strength and heat. Take a breath and exhale, push down into both of your legs into the floor. Then inhale, stretch your heart halfway forward, and let's step your left leg back, coming into low lunge. Yep, low lunge for me is your fingertips on the floor, your back thigh high, squeeze your back leg muscles all around the bones, then lower your left knee down onto your mat. You take a breath, you open to something bigger, right? To connection with life force. And then keeping that, squeeze your legs towards each other. And as you squeeze, make sure you turn on your left buns, your left glutes. Keep that and take your right hand on your right thigh, pull your navel back and twist to your right. Now you could stay just like this. You could take your arm up if you want to stretch your shoulder, open up your shoulder today. Did a lot with the shoulders last week, so we're giving them a little more space today. But keep hugging your bones with your muscles. Use your muscles to squeeze. And then use that power to push back down through your legs into the earth. Good. Exhale, bring your right hand down, step your right knee back by your left, and come up into your forearm plank. So lower your elbows, shoulders over elbows, firm your belly, step back. Same thing here. You don't want to just squeeze your kneecaps to make your legs strong. Also squeeze the backs of your legs, and that's hard here, but see where you can turn them on and even squeeze your legs a little towards each other. That'll turn on your inner leg. So you get a hug that's 360 degrees around both legs. And when your legs are strong like that, your shoulders don't have to do quite so much of the work. Good. Lower your knees, undo your hands, and come all the way down onto your belly. Take your hands alongside you, fingernails down, toenails down. Pressing your feet down and back, scoop your tailbone, lifting your belly. And then lift your shoulders and lift up in your heart in Shalabhasana. And stay exactly like that, or with strong legs, lift your thighs. Strong arms, lift your shoulders, lift your arms. Exhale back down, hands under your shoulders, and push yourself into downward facing dog again. You can always go through table. And then embrace yourself, right? So to do that, hug your upper arms a little bit towards your ears. That'll make your elbows straighter and your arms tone. Squeeze around your legs and use the strength of your legs to push your thigh bones back. In that way, you have strong but open muscles in the backs of your legs. You welcome a breath. And out. And then look forward and step your right foot. Nope, not your right foot. Sorry about that. Step your left foot up into a lunge. And again, start with opening. We always open first because we tend to be so closed down anyway. So we open to a bigger energy and then squeeze onto that, hug it. Muscles onto your bones. Bring your right knee down and pull with your left foot and right knee towards each other. And as you do, make sure you turn on your right glutes. So sometimes they don't really help, but we want them to help. Take your left hand on your left thigh, draw your navel back, and twist to the left. Then go back to your legs and just see if your legs are kind of zoning out and bring them back online. You can stay there or take your arm up again for that shoulder opening, heart opening. And once you've drawn into center and you're hugging yourself, it's easier to expand. So then push back down. Use the power of the muscles to push back down. Excellent. Sweep your hand back down and lift your back knee. Step forward to standing forward bend. Uttanasana. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale and fold over. Sweep your arms to the sky, lift up to standing. Inhale. And exhale, bring your palms back together at your heart. So this turning on the muscles all around the bones, so helpful, but it can be hard to kind of figure out. I like this action. Imagine you're going to sweep your foot back on a mat. Now, it's hard to do when you have both feet down, I think. You can do one at a time, but that sort of sweeping action is a way that I can start to feel, oh, that's what it feels like to have my hamstrings turned on, even when I'm just standing. You try it as if you're going to sweep your right foot back, sweep your left foot back. Keep the power. Here we go again. Sweep your arms to the sides. Inhale up. Exhale and fold over again. Inhale, reach your heart out. And exhale, step your right leg back into a lunge. Lower your back knee for a moment. Now, squeeze around your leg muscles again. So imagine this left foot's going to pull back towards the back of the mat, and that'll turn on your left hamstring. It's harder with your right foot. You can almost imagine you're going to pick up your right foot and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze around your right glutes, and keeping that, press your right thigh towards straight. You lift your right knee. And the idea is instead of it sagging down, there's so much strength in the muscle that it can lift up towards straight. Keeping that, make your spine longer. Grow out. Good. Exhale, lower the back knee again and step your left knee back by your right. Bring your forearms down, move your shoulders over your elbows and firm in your low belly, then step back plank. Forearm plank, really. So yeah, I can do this without much involvement in my legs, and when I do that, my shoulders hurt. So if I squeeze my legs, front, back, sides, it helps take some of the pressure off my shoulders because there's so much more strength in the back of my body. Lower your knees and undo your hands. Come on down. Let's reach back and interlace our fingers this time. Press your toenails down and firm the backs of your legs. Draw your tail back, your belly in. So all that's setting up your pelvis. Then lift up your shoulders. Curl up in your heart. And welcome a breath. Take your skull back. Good. Exhale, lower back down. Take your hands under your shoulders and curl your toes under. Press to down dog. Always be through table. So when your body feels safe, you experience less pain, just physically. And also there's like greater capacity for opening that comes. But that safety comes when we have the loving embrace, not too much openness, and not so much embrace that nothing can move or breathe. Now look forward and step your right foot up into a lunge. And then lower your left knee once you get your right foot up there. But keep your left toes turned under if you can. That's a good stretch for your toes and your ankle too. And you breathe and open, let your inner body expand. Then pushing your right foot down, pull your right heel back towards the back of your mat and you'll turn on the underside of your right thigh. So it's nothing's moving, but it's like you're pulling back and that helps it turn on. Then do the same thing, turn on the top of your left or the back of your left thigh and use that now to lift your left thigh bone up. So when you lift up, we're aiming not to lift your whole pelvis, but your front thigh stays so engaged it stays parallel to the floor. Your back thigh gets strong and lifted. Good. Reach out through your bones. All right, pushing down into your right foot, step your left foot forward, standing forward bend. Squeeze the tops of your thigh bones. The tops of your thigh muscles. Inhale your heart halfway forward and fold when you exhale. Take your arms wide, come up to standing. Inhale. Exhale, palms to your heart. And release your arms by your sides. So you can feel how just bringing attention back here, you may notice that there's a little more heat back there now than sometimes when we do sun salutation. And for me, I can feel my hamstrings wanting to open a lot faster. So that's good news for me. I hope it's good news for you too. You're going to take your blocks now in front of the long edge of your mat. We've got our wide leg forward fold. We're going to start with the bent knee version so that you can just really turn on the muscles before you move, before you straighten everything. All right, so step your feet out wide, face the long edge of your mat. You can turn your toes in the direction of the side that you're facing, and then bring your hands to your hips. Yes. And just settle in for a moment. Inhale, lift your ribs up off your hips, and then bend your knees. Now I know it's hard, so it doesn't have to be a huge bend, and press them a little bit wide so that they don't fall in towards each other. All right, imagine you're gonna wipe your right foot back, wipe your left foot back, turning on your hamstrings, hinge at the top of your thighs, and bring your hands down onto your blocks with your knees bent. Keep your spine parallel to the floor in this version so that you can really work your legs. Again, imagine you're going to swipe your right foot back, swipe your left foot back, and notice that engagement in the thigh muscle in the back of your thigh. All right, keeping that engaged, squeeze right around your glutes, and then slowly, slowly take the tops of your thighs back to straighten your legs. And sometimes when folks straighten, then the muscles are like, sweet, I'm done. I let go. So that the aim is not to let go, to keep the muscles engaged, fronts of the thighs, backs of the thighs. So to do that, lift your kneecaps up. And notice how much power there is. It might even come up into your low belly being stronger. Then push back down through your legs into the floor. Really a strong position. Okay, good. Bring your weight into your, bring your hands on your hips, scoop your tail down, and come up to standing. Excellent. Walk your feet back in. So as we do this, you'll feel some stability arriving around your thigh bones, around your hips, and that stability actually over time affords more range of motion. It seems kind of backwards, but they really do go together. So let's take that into a side lateral pose. You can step your feet out wide again. I'm just talking in between so your legs get a little break. Turn your left toes in towards your belly. Turn your whole right leg out towards the right end of your mat. And with your left hand on your hip, you can take your right arm out parallel to the floor. Inhale, lift, expand. Exhale, bend your right knee, and then hinge at your right hip and bring your right forearm down onto your right thigh. So this is asking for a lot of length of your hamstring underneath the right hamstring. It takes a lot, so squeeze both leg muscles, all the leg muscles up from the earth towards your core and around your bones like they're wrapping like vines. And for me, a lot of times underside of my right leg will turn off, so do what you can, see if that's turned off. You can even touch it. Turn it back on. And keeping that now, turn your belly away from your thighs, turn your ribs away from your right thigh towards the long edge of your mat, and then take your top arm up and over your ear. If that's too much, you can always keep your hand on your hip and just open your shoulder. Now from your core, use the power from your core to push down through both legs, and that'll help elongate your hamstring muscle. So it's supported, now it can elongate even in this kind of strange position for it. Good. Take your hand to your hip, keep your legs strong, push down, come back up to standing. Nice. Turn your feet to the middle. Switch sides. Turn your right toes way in, turn your left toes all the way out towards the short edge of your mat. Welcome a big breath in. And with your right hand on your hip, take your left arm out, bend your left knee, and hinge at your pelvis, at your hip. Bring your left forearm onto your right thigh, on your left thigh, not your right thigh. So over time, we're aiming for your left thigh to become parallel to the earth. That takes a lot of quad strength and hamstring opening and strength at the same time. So you see what's there for you today. Squeeze your legs towards each other to help the muscles turn on, and then wrap them around your bones. Scoop your tail under, lift up your low belly. So you've set up your pelvis, turn your ribs, turn your chest, turn your heart. You can take your arm over your ear when you're ready. And again, you just kind of check in. Did your bottom leg your left leg sort of turn off? You try to turn it back on, even pull your left foot back towards the center of your mat. Keeping all that reach out through your bones. Yeah. Good. Sweep your right arm back to your hip, push down, and stand back up. Turn your feet back to the center. Step yourself back in. All right. So as you stand, you might start to feel, oh, my legs are under me. They're turning on. That's some power. So now you're going to take your blanket across your mat if you'd like that for kneeling on. We've got one kneeling pose. I like it for kneeling on. One lunge. It's a lunge, kneeling lunge. All right, so you can place your blanket down, And this is just to open up your back and the mid back as we head towards forward fold. Twisting is really a good support for that. So you're gonna step your right foot forward into a lunge, left knee down on the mat. And if you can tolerate it in your ankle and your toes, you turn your left toes under. Again, it's a really great stretch for the bottom of your foot and for your toes. But if that's too much, don't worry about it. Okay, you can bring your hands up to your front thigh if you haven't already. And again, that sense of turning things on. So squeeze your right foot and your left foot towards each other. And you can even take your hand under your right thigh and just test if your hamstring is starting to get the message. Sometimes it doesn't. That's okay. You just keep sending it no matter what happens. Put your right hand on your right thigh. Take your left arm in the air. And then lean a little bit forward. Doesn't have to be huge. Twist, reach through, like as if your left arm's going to reach over your right knee. And then you can either just put your hand on your knee and twist more, or lean forward a bit and bring your elbow towards your knee and twist even more. So if your muscles in your legs are not doing anything, this will feel very wobbly. It could feel wobbly even if your muscles in your legs are helping and supporting. But if you squeeze around those muscles, it can really help you stay balanced as you try to twist. And the twist, helps to open up your back muscles. You don't have to overdo it. Good. Inhale and come up out of the twist. Pretty wobbly, all is well. And then switch sides. So if you want to challenge yourself, you could do this with no hands. It's not the easiest thing, but it's a nice balance challenge. You can also put your hands on blocks or hands on your thighs. So right foot goes back. Good job. Yeah. Left, curl your toes under on the right if possible. And left foot forward. All right, so we breathe again. Lots of stopping to breathe because, a breath is one of the ways that we signal to ourselves that all is well. Then push your left foot down, squeeze it back, and you could check under your left thigh, like, are there any muscles happening? Anything turned on, maybe? That's good. All right, left hand on your left thigh, take your right arm up. Lean a little forward, and then twist to the left and reach out over your left knee. And that could be a little bit or a lot. Then you can put your left hand down and continue to twist, or bring your left elbow over and continue to twist. So there's a lot going on in your upper body, but it starts at your lower body. Squeeze your legs towards each other, squeeze your left leg straight. And you can actually push your left knee a little bit out to the left to help be a counterbalance to your right side coming around. And then listening, twist to the amount that feels okay in your back. You don't have to do more than that. Not trying to crack any bones or anything. Yeah, this is a tricky spot. Y'all look good. Okay, make your spine long and inhale, back up out of it. Whew. Unwrap from that and step back. You can bring your hands down. If it, it can feel supportive to slide your hands down your thighs and then walk out to table pose, or just come down to table pose. And we'll take one moment in plank. Well, couple of moments, couple of breaths. So claw with your hands. Make your arms firm and even squeeze your hands a little towards each other to turn your arm muscles on. Draw your navel in, firming your navel, and then slide one foot back and the other foot back to meet it. Squeeze your legs, plank pose. So as you keep breathing, that means the Shakti, the life force, can move. You also can squeeze your hands towards each other and even pull them towards your feet. And that'll turn on your core and keep your legs strong, strong, strong. Good. Lower both knees now. Take your big toes to touch your knees apart and shift back to child's pose. In child's pose, you can invite your muscles to relax as much as feels comfortable for you. So sometimes folks feel a little better if they have a little squeeze of their knees towards the middle. Sometimes that feels better on folks' back. But you're just giving your legs a moment to breathe, to rest, shoulders to rest, back to rest. Okay. Walk your hands back towards you. Come off of your child's pose. And you're going to flip over onto your back. Have your strap close by. We'll use it in a moment. So we're headed towards your hamstrings, but it's very, very helpful if we also get the fronts of your legs open, because those two sets of muscles, the tops of your legs, your quadriceps, and your hamstrings, the bottom of your legs, they work in tandem with each other. So if one is tight, it's going to limit the other one. So as we come down, bend your knees. We'll do our windshield wiper pose. Hopefully you can hear me. Okay. So for windshield wiper pose, bend your knees and take your feet out about as wide as your mat. Can be wider, can be narrower based on your hips, your legs. And then again, push your feet a little into the mat and pull your heels towards your buns just a tiny bit until you turn on your low buns and turn on the backs of your legs, hamstring muscles. All right, keep that turn, drop both knees to your right side. We're going to really talk through this one tonight so that we can get a little bit more of the benefit. So same idea, to turn on the back of your left leg. The left leg's the one we're interested in on this side. Pull your left heel towards your left glute. Not that you're moving anything, but that turning it on. Then scoop your tail into the middle and lift up in your low belly. And that will exaggerate the length and the stretch along the front of your left leg. You can stay just like that or add your right foot on the top of your left leg and pull your left leg away from your face. Use your foot to pull your leg away from your face. At no point is your left leg just relaxing. Sadly, sorry. We'll do that at the very end, but pull away, and you can reach your arms up over your head away even. But this should feel like a fair amount of stretch on the front of your left thigh, maybe up your front of your left hip, your left belly. Good. Put your right foot back down and inhale both knees up into the middle. Separate your feet again if they've crept close together, about as wide as your mat. Engage in your legs and then drop both knees over to the left side. And now the right leg is the one that's really getting the attention. So pull your right heel towards your right glutes and then scoop your tail towards your left heel, lifting your low belly away from your pelvis. You could stay exactly like this or take your left foot onto your right thigh, and you want to use your foot to pull your thigh away from your face. So you get even more length on the front of your right hip, thigh, could be up into the right side of your belly even. And breathe. Again, your right leg stays strong for this so that the stretch is really stretching active, strong, heated muscles. Good. Lower your left foot and inhale both legs back up into the middle. Okay. You look around and get your strap now. There we go. And we're going to work with that same bent leg to straight leg situation that we had a moment ago, or a little while ago at the beginning of practice. So bring your right leg into the strap, but keep your right knee bent. And then take your right leg in the air, but keep it bent for starters. Like intentionally bend your right leg. It doesn't have to be a huge bend, but with your leg bent, see if you can move your low back off the floor a little bit. Okay, so you got your leg bent. Just see what way your knee is pointing, and if it's pointing way off to the right or way into the middle, see if you can point your knee more towards your shoulder. That's going to line up your thigh bone, which helps your muscles line up. Okay. Pull back on the strap with your hand and push with your foot, but not so much that you straighten your leg. It's just enough to turn on the muscle. All right, so now that the muscles are on, you could slowly straighten your leg. That might mean that you lower your foot in the air. That might mean that your foot comes way up closer to your face. Doesn't really matter, but again, broken record, we're looking for the tone of your muscles. So let your muscles be like a comforting embrace wrapping around your bones, and particularly in this one, right up under your right seat. That's where your hamstring attaches to your sitting bone, and that can get really irritated really easily. So you really squeeze right there to help relieve any capacity, any irritation before it even starts, hopefully. But even if it has started, squeeze there too, and it'll help. Keep squeezing. Bring your right kneecap towards your right hip and push up through your right heel towards the ceiling. So it's a powerful version of this pose. It's not a really passive version of this pose. And the power is actually what creates the opening that becomes something that we can maintain. Without that kind of powerful engagement, you get open and then it's lost really quickly, as far as I understand from the exercise science people. All right, release your leg, bend your knee, and set your right foot back down on the floor. So for me, just now, I was keeping my left foot on the floor, just a little more balance for this one. You can certainly straighten your right leg this time if you want to, or keep it bent, either way. Okay, let's go to the second side. Bend your left knee, loop the strap around the ball of your left foot, and remember, start with the left knee bent. Take a quick peek at your left knee in the air there and see if it's pointing off to the left or in towards the right, and do your best to point it generally towards your left shoulder. And then pull back on the strap and push out with your foot. And that's, again, the aim to start to activate your hamstring muscle before you even lengthen it. So it's on. And now slowly, slowly stretch your left leg towards straight. And it might not go all the way straight. That's okay too. Just as long as you have the muscles doing what they need to do. Really always interested in the actions of the pose, right? Whether or not we feel like we get to a completed state, that's something totally different. Okay, so now with the muscles turned on, go right up under your left seat. Right where your left seat and your left hamstring meet, that spot, you want to make sure to squeeze tightly so that, again, you don't pull the tendon away from your sit bone. Again, like I say, I've tried it. It's not good. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Push up through your left heel. All of this happening, all of this and all the sensation going on, and you just say, all right, I'm going to breathe at the same time. Keep telling your body, it's okay. I'm safe. I'm just asking for some length and some strength at the same time. And I'm going to breathe through it. And you get what you get. All right, good. And then exhale and release this leg back down out of the strap. You can set your strap off to the side. Stay on your back for another moment. Open your hip to the side now. So bring your right knee in toward your chest again. Now this time we want it to be a little more relaxed. And then externally rotate your right leg and cross your right ankle over your left knee. Eye of the needle pose. Good. Externally rotate your right leg, so turn your knee away from your face. And keeping that, give a little pull of your right heel towards your left hip. That's, again, going to keep those muscles turned on and helping. Stay like this, or fold your knee in towards your chest, your left knee in. You could hold behind your left thigh. Again, it's so easy to just have your muscles not doing anything. And that's one way to stretch. It's a passive stretch. We're asking for a little more activity in the stretch. Again, it keeps your muscles heated and it keeps them strong while they get long. So that's why we ask for it. Another breath. And exhaling, release your left leg down, put your right foot down beside, and switch sides. Hug your left knee in. Get as much of a bend in your left knee as you can. And then keeping your knee bent, turn your knee out to the side and then cross your ankle over your right knee. So you're looking for external rotation. Really roll your knee out away from your face and pull with your left heel towards your right hip. It's not moving, but it's turning on the muscles. So feel how the muscles engage and then fold your right leg in or keep it exactly where it was, your choice. Eye of the needle pose. So we're starting to work our way around the hip. We had the front of the hip, and now we have the side of the hip as well. And we had the back with the hamstring stretch. So we could think that like a forward fold just has to do with the backs of your legs and your lower back, but actually if we free up all around your hips, you get a lot more mobility out of your thigh bone in your hip socket, which means you can actually forward fold a little more. All right, good. Exhale and release your right leg, set it back down, left leg down. And let's roll to one side and come up to a seat. All right. So we're going to finish up with Paschimottanasana, which is a seated forward fold, legs out in front of you. If you would say, I generally have tight hamstrings and my lower back tends to be tight, you sit up and you can sit up on, a little or a lot. So the minimum is a blanket and I sit on a blanket. So, if you're like, probably I'm tighter than Sarah, you could sit your two blocks. I would put them like this maybe, and then put the blanket on top of the two blocks. And also, if you have a bolster, you could sit on a bolster as long as you don't feel like you're going to fall, right? But the main thing is that this sitting up takes puts a little bit of slack in your hamstrings and helps your pelvis get the tip over that helps to get you over your legs. It also just frees up your low back. Okay, so once you've gotten your setup, your blocks and your blanket or your blanket itself or the bolster, you also want to have your strap so that you can use that as we go. So I'm going to turn sideways. I'm going to sit just up on my blanket. Okay, so now you can grab your strap. I think we'll just do this together. We've done it before, it's just been a while. You take your strap and loop it around the bottoms of your feet with knees bent, and then take your feet out pretty wide. So my feet are about as wide as my mat. My knees are bent. So if you notice, this is pretty much the same position that we had on your back a moment ago, but now we're sitting up. And so there's a little bit more, right? You might feel it in your back. And so we don't want to strain your upper back too much. If you feel like you're really, really pulling really hard, you might need to sit up taller on a blanket or something. Okay, so here we go. Pushing your heels down. Pull your heel energetically back towards your hip and feel the back of your leg turn on. Do that on both sides. And keeping that, move your low back in and sit up as tall as you can. You can notice I'm resting my arms on my knees. That's a way to do it. You can also have your arms higher than your knees or out to the sides, but just on my knees is plenty. All right, good. So we've got the hamstrings turned on. Now you're going to slowly press your legs towards straight. As you do, let your torso tip forward just a little bit. So we go towards a little bit of a forward fold. Legs are going out straight, and then you walk your arms out straight as well. Good. Push your heels down. Imagine you're going to bend your knees, so you turn on your hamstrings. And keeping the hamstrings turned on, backs of your legs, use that to push your thigh bones towards the earth. Now, if you're sitting up high, they're not going to touch the earth. That's fine. But there we go. Good. Keeping all this, now lengthen your spine. So you're not just like sitting down with strong legs, but lengthen spine. Good. All right, good. Bend both knees. You can lean back, rest a moment. You can sort of, if my back starts to get tender, I like to put a little baby twist in there if my back is feeling this. Ideally, it's not a lot on your back, but it is still a lot to sit up tall. So we'll do this one more time. And this time the option when you straighten your legs, actually when your knees are bent, we'll start with knees bent. We'll actually tip over with knees bent. And then as you straighten your legs, the option will be to come down further. Now, if that seems ridiculous to your body, it's like, that's not safe, doesn't feel good. You don't have to do that, of course. You can stay exactly where you were. But if things felt okay where you were, and you want to take it a little more into the backs of your legs, into your hamstrings and your back, then you'll bow forward with me. Main thing is as you squeeze the backs of the leg muscles, that is what is keeping your muscles really strong. And so we stretch a strong muscle, not just a relaxed muscle, which is a lot safer. Okay, so here we go again. You can loop around your feet, bend your knees, and sit up tall. Squeeze now your heels back towards your buns so your hamstrings turn on, and even you can squeeze right under your buns, sit up tall. You can stay just like this or tilt forward a little here. So to do that, I'm taking my elbows out to the side, bringing my torso down some, and then slowly, slowly keep your legs strong, but straighten them out. And when you bow, you look down your nose towards the space between your legs. It may be that you can walk your hands forward on your strap towards your feet. Maybe that you can even hold your feet. And over you go. Squeeze under your hamstrings, or squeeze your hamstrings. Push your thigh bones down. Lengthen through your spine. Paschimottanasana, this is a variation with wide legs. See if you can feel the power and protection in your muscles as they wrap your bones, and then stretch your bones right through them like a sword into a sheath. Good. Inhale, come slowly back up. And we've got it. Good. And then exhale, you're going to come off of your blanket and set your strap aside. Set your blanket aside, and let's come back down onto your back. We'll twist to finish up. It's a really effective way to move into your hamstrings and to keep them from getting overstretched, which is a thing that happens in yoga sometimes, while also, stretching them, which is also a thing we want to have happen in yoga. All right, draw both knees in towards your chest and then take both knees over to your right side and twist. Drop your left shoulder towards the mat. Turn your gaze to the left if it doesn't bother your neck. Breathe. So in this case, we don't need a lot of engagement in your legs, but a tiny squeeze of your legs can help support your lower back and keep it from over twisting, over torquing. And inhale, both knees up into the middle. And exhale, take both knees over to your left. Move your right shoulder towards the floor. And turn your head to your right, as long as your neck's okay with that. And just a slight squeeze of your legs towards each other, your knees towards each other. It creates a strong container for the rest of your body, for your lower back, for your sacrum. And receive some breaths. Notice if you feel a little more settled in your energy, having done all of this embracing and having lengthened in the back of your body and folded in on yourself. All of these things are calming and soothing to our whole system. Inhale and bring your knees back up into the middle. It helps you feel safe, like you were a baby elephant in the middle of that circle of all the matriarchs around you. You could hug your knees in or happy baby. Do what would feel good for a moment. Excellent. And as you feel ready, you can release yourself out, do anything else that you need that would feel good. And then stretch yourself out and come out into Shavasana. Now in Shavasana, this is the chance to let go of all of that holding, that embracing, and let yourself be embraced by the earth. It can also feel very supportive to have a blanket or a pillow on your pelvis or on your belly, your heart. That extra weight just feels like a hug. Let your body soften and dissolve towards the mat. And watch your breath breathe you, even if it's very faint. Letting that move you into a softer space inside, a space where you can rest for the next few minutes in your Shavasana. Gently begin to call yourself back. Feel your breath as it moves inside, in and out. And softly move fingers and toes, arms or legs. Sort of stretch out or curl in, however feels good to you. And then slowly, slowly bend your knees and come on over to your right side. Then press your hands down and come back up to sitting. And let yourself arrive back up in your seat, closing your eyes again. Can learn so much from nature about how to be in a body, be a human in this challenging times. And so we embrace ourselves exactly as we are, and we hug ourselves for safety and support. And in so doing, it helps us to feel hopefully a bit more freedom and heart. So now, with gratitude for this practice, join your palms, bring them together at your heart center, and let's chant again one more time. Welcome your in-breath. Om Shanti. Great. Thanks, everybody. Yes, very good. Very good. Hopefully that felt pretty good in your legs.